Hey nerds, today we're going to be looking at 10 more Magic the Gathering facts that you probably didn't know. This video is a part of my series where we try and find the most obscure Magic the Gathering trivia. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Now with that out of the way, let's begin. Did you know misprints and collation issues have been a part of Magic the Gathering since the very beginning? That's right, even with the first set, now known as Alpha, having collation issues. Alpha was missing 2 cards. Those cards were Circle Protection Black and Volcanic Island. Apparently no one noticed that these cards were missing from the printing sheets, and as such, no alpha versions of these 2 cards exist, even though they were printed in beta and unlimited. It's really crazy to think that 2 cards that are part of cycles would have been missed. Continuing with Magic's original set, the card Tropical Island has an incorrect artist credit. The reason for this is that the original art for Tropical Island was this art. You'll recognize this art as the art for Birds of Paradise. When the original art for Tropical Island was received, the bird was too prominent, so they designed another card, Birds of Paradise, around that art and recommissioned the art for Tropical Island. The art was by Jesper Meerforce, and the accreditation was fixed for Magic's beta set print run. Did you know about Summer Magic? Summer Magic was an attempted print run of the 4th edition to try and fix some of the issues with the 4th edition print run, namely the washed out colors and some cards having some imagery that the game wanted to just simply move away from to avoid controversy. The set was codenamed Edgar, but the name Summer Magic really stuck with the player base as the set was printed in the summer of 1994. Unfortunately, the coloration of the cards was too dark as opposed to Revide's washed out colors, and a number of other mistakes either remained or were added to this printing. This is how we get the very famous blue Hurricane card. We also had Plateau having an incorrect artist credit, and at least Serendib Ifrit finally had the right art, but now had the wrong artist credit. The set was actually meant to be destroyed, but it's reported 40-ish boxes were missing, and nowadays these cards are exceptionally rare and are sought after by collectors. Did you know there's a Happy Holiday card set? Yeah, this is a series of non-tournament legal cards that are produced by Wizards of the Coast once a year and given out at their holiday party. This tradition started back in 2006 with Fruitcake Elemental, which has mechanics that are a play on the regifting of fruitcakes back and forth. These cards are really hilarious to read through, and if you want a video where I break down each one, let me know down in the comment section. These are a really fun subset of cards. Did you know all 5 original Magic symbols were created by Christopher Rush, the artist best known for Black Lotus? But did you also know that the white mana symbol is the only one that was changed? Ice Age was the first expansion set to use the current white mana symbol, this one. The old mana symbol, this one, was not symmetrical and hard to read as a sun from any kind of distance. What's really strange is that the list printings of cards that should use the old mana symbol instead use this updated 3rd mana symbol that is only used on these specific reprints. I wasn't able to find out why, but my best guess is that Wizards of the Coast no longer have the original symbol trademarketed and can't really recreate it for legal reasons. It's really only a guess. If you know more why this 3rd symbol was used specifically for only list cards, please let me know in the comment section down below. So next we're going to move into creature types. Specifically unique creature types, as some creatures have a unique type. This means that they are the only card to feature that particular creature type. As of the making of this video, the following creature types are unique to one card: Sable, Walrus, Ferret, Reflection, Spawn, Wombat, and Oyster. Note that I only counted black bordered creature cards in this list. It's interesting to me that Wizards would add these cards with a creature type that serves no gameplay value at all and only serves as trinket or flavor text, but who knows? Maybe Walrus Tribal will be the bane of standard in a few years. Next up, we're going to talk about Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken is a stop-motion animated adult cartoon that, if you're like me, you watched as an edgy teenager. Surprisingly, Robot Chicken has a magic card. 4 mana gets you a 2/2 chicken construct artifact creature, and you make a 0/1 egg artifact creature token whenever you cast a spell, and when those eggs die, you get to destroy a creature or artifact. So it's not a bad card, and I think the art was ripped directly directly from the show, as the credit for the art merely has Robot Chicken. This card's existence, according to Mark Rosewater, is owed to one of the show writers helping out during a pro tour. I tried to find out how many of these things exist and found a huge rabbit hole of information. Apparently these cards are stickers on top of other cards and are probably just commons from whatever was being printed at the time. According to writer Hugh Sterbikoff, a total of 6 of these cards exist because that's how many they received. He also mentioned that they look real from the outside of the case. This has got to be one of the weirdest cards to ever exist, and the fact it's black bordered with a kinda decent effect kinda makes me want to play it. WotC, do a Robot Chicken Secret Lair. You know you want to. Did you know that some cards have their own rules specific to them in the comprehensive rules? Let's take a look at Circling Vultures. It has the ability to discard itself at instant speed if it's in your hand. This card has a unique ruling, being 116.2e. One card, Circling Vultures, has the ability you may discard Circling Vultures at any time you could cast an instant. Doing so is a special action, like flipping a morph, and a player can take such an action at any time they have priority, unlike morph. So the reason for this card specifically to have this ruling is because there's no cost listed for the effect. It's just a special action that is inherent to the card. Most cards like Fairy Macabre can discard themselves as a cost for an effect. Circling Vultures doesn't do that. It plays by its own rules. And Circling Vultures isn't unique to this, as there are individual rulings for other cards like Karn Liberated and Rage Extractor. If you want to hear more about these kinds of cards, let me know in the comments. Did you know Wizards of the Coast changes some card art for censorship purposes? One glaring example of this is Ember Mage Goblin. The basic non-foil version of this card is edited because the original art has the goblin's anatomical detail just flapping about next to his fireballs. Skundu Cyclops is another one where it's just very blatantly having its anatomical detail wafting in the breeze. Then we have some cards like Polymorph have its art cropped instead to avoid a very phallic outline between its original Mirage and 9th edition printings, but others like Binding Agony did not. The worst example for this has to be the card Keeper of the Mind. You would not think this card was bad enough to appear under the unglued card's censorship artwork, would you? Well, here's the original unedited art piece. Yeah, that's one heck of a pose. I can see why Wizards really has to censor this artwork, but you wouldn't think that those unedited versions would go to print, like in the case of Ember Mage Goblin. The last fact I want to talk about on this video is just the card Ebon Prator, which has to be the most unique piece of art I've ever seen in Magic the Gathering. I want to paraphrase Pontiac's Gatherer comment from 2011 while regarding this card. The Praetor is this dude in the sombrero. He's judging the soul of the blue merfolk-ish creature in the middle. In the background, we have a depiction of heaven, that's the castles, and hell, which is the lava pit. You may have noticed the giant bunny and the devil thing. These are agents of heaven and hell, which are basically advocating for the merfolk-ish thing's fate with the sombrero dude. I don't know who approved this artwork, but I am so happy that they did. The actual effects of the card do not align with this fantastic imagery at all. It's 6 mana for a 5/5 with first strike, and it gets a -2/-2 counter on each upkeep, but then you can sack a creature during upkeep to remove the counter, and if you sacrifice a thrall, it gets a +1/+0 counter instead. I don't think anyone really cares what the card does. Not with art like that. Alright nerds, that's it for today. Remember to like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more content just like this, and if you have any obscure Magic the Gathering trivia, I would love to hear about it. Drop a comment down below.